Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the 4 o'clock broadcast. It is Give Local York 2021. Look at that number. Nope, wrong hand. Look at that number right there. $2.4 million, almost to $2.5 million. 7,551 donors with 12,793 gifts to 300 organizations. It is Give Local York 2021. I have spent my entire day since 7 a.m. talking to some of York County's finest nonprofits, and I am excited to do that with you for the next 2 hours here on this stream with 7 hours, 56 minutes, and 33 seconds to go. So, Chris, we are going to bring in Bobby Ann from the York County Literacy Council. Real quick, I wanted to recap for folks. Go to givelocalyork.org, check out the leaderboards on the front page, check out the prizes that are just below that. Your money can be put to work more if you support your favorite nonprofits and be mindful of the prizes that they are eligible for or the prizes that they are competing for. It's all in good fun, but they can get extra money. We do want to thank the Give Local York host, White Rose Leadership Institute, as well as the presenting sponsor, Giant, legacy partners, Fox 43, Pulo Family Fund, PeoplesBank, Arthur J. and Lee R. Gladfelder Foundation, the Cultural Alliance, Hammer Creek Enterprises, Powder Mill Foundation, the York County Community Foundation, and our stretch pool sponsors, including the Wareheim Foundation, UPMC, Memorial Health Fund, Kinsley, PNC Bank, Stewart Companies. And earlier this morning, we started with WellSpan Health in the 7 a.m. hour. They are our Healthy Step Ahead sponsors. We also earlier heard from Wagman, one of our event sponsors, and we may hear a little bit more during this hour about Wagman's contribution to Give Local York. Last hour was sponsored by Rogers and Associates out of Lancaster, financial planning, wealth advisors, and we were joined by Jeremy, who was with us for the $2 million mark. This hour is sponsored by our live stream sponsor, Traditions Bank. And we are excited that later on we will have Jean from Traditions Bank and Kristen from Traditions Bank join us. But first, I want to get back to our nonprofits, and I'm so excited that Bobby Ann from the York County Literacy Council is joining us. Bobby Ann, how's it going?
It's going great, Chris. Thanks for asking.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about your day, how everything is going, what your goals are, and what you want to tell the people out here in Give Local land.
Okay. Well, the day has been really exciting. Definitely a different day for me. And we try to do this every year. We've been a participant for 4 years. When the donations start to come in, I start making those thank you calls, because donors, you're really important to nonprofits, and you need to hear from us, and we want to say thank you. And that's what I do. And I'm on my 4th page here making these calls, and it is a pleasure to do that. And if I don't get done today, I will finish off tomorrow morning. We have a goal of $35,000, and we are I think probably at 17,000. That was the last time I looked at that board.
Yep, just over 17,000 raised so far.
Yeah. And what we'll do with those funds is we are going to fund our classrooms. We provide education for adults who need it, English as a second language, as well as high school equivalency classes and math classes, and helping people reach their goals.
So, Bobby Ann, can you talk a little bit, not just about the York County Literacy Council, but what is the impact of Give Local York in our community? I know that you obviously are very close to Give Local. It's important to you. What does it feel like today to be a part of this event?
You know what? This one day give it makes you feel like part of the larger community. You know, usually every day we go around and you see your small group of individuals that you work with, or, you know, that you see at the school or wherever you are. But when you do a one-day give and you see those names that are coming up on the donor board they're flashing, that you go, oh, I know that person, oh, I know that person, you realize how small your community is and how generous and giving this community is, which is, it's very moving.
And we are minutes away from hitting that $2.5 million mark with 7 hours left to go. It's absolutely great. Bobby, and I know we have a video that we want to watch. Before we get to that video, we want to send people to Give Local York. We want them to give to York County Literacy Council. I'm looking at your prizes here. Can you tell me a little bit about the $100 level covers GED testing fees for students in need of financial aid? Can you just talk a little bit about that program? Because that's awesome.
So we do a high school equivalency instruction, but we also offer high set testing, which is the second set of testing that's recognized in the state of Pennsylvania for your high school equivalency. And the test costs $120 to $160, depending on which test you're taking, to take the whole battery. And so when you have $100 for a person who doesn't have $100 to take their test, that's really important. They need to qualify. We make sure that they qualify and are at least at a 200% of income poverty level. But a lot of our students are. Most of our students, more than 70%, are rated as low income or poverty level. And so they really need this step up. We had a student want to take her, she was ready. The teachers told us she was ready to take her test. But when she went to take that, she said, I can't take it. I have to wait for my mother's tax return to come in. So that's important, to be able to have funds available to help these students to attain their goal, because that's the next step in their life.
Well, it's truly excellent, and I have good news for you. As we were talking, because I refreshed the page, you had an additional donor, an additional gift, a $100 gift, it looks like. So congratulations. We're going to watch the Literacy Council video. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day, and really wish you the best of luck with the next 7 hours and 50 minutes of Give Local.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chris.
Absolutely.
I would definitely recommend York County Literacy Council. These teachers here, these people here are just amazing. And that's what made me come, to these classes and come and finish what I did, because they saw potential in me. They saw it in me, so I had to see it in myself too, so.
There's programs after you complete your GED here. They help you try to reach your goals.
Another nice thing they have here, though, is the Next Step program. After you pass, they help you get into schooling or get jobs or whatever you need to further my career and everything for me and my family.
And I came to United States because my mom, she became sick. And when I came here, I have nothing. So I got to start a new, completely whole life here. They help me a lot because I learned most of the English that I know here. I'm doing what I can. I'm doing my best.
I'm never gonna lose my accent, but I'm proud of it, who I am, where I come from. Be more confident because I have education.
When the people talk to me and they say, you got a strong accent, and I say, yes, and it's beautiful.
Well, that was awesome. For more information, check out the York County Literacy Council at Give Local York. So right off the conversation with Bobby Ann, now shifting to the York County Food Bank, but similarly, $41,000 raised of a $50,000 goal for the food bank. They're at 83%. Thanks for the claps. Appreciate that. With 247 donors and 248 gifts. Jen, how does that feel? We've got Jen from the food bank for a scheduled interview. I did ambush her earlier, but we're glad to have you in person now.
Yeah, happy to be here. And it feels great. It's awesome to know that the community is supporting us today with all of those amazing donations and supporting all 300 nonprofits that are participating today.
So Jen, we talked about this a little bit earlier today, and I want to learn more about all of the goodies that are right in front of you. But without spending too much time looking back, I would love to hear, about the food bank's amazing response to the COVID-19 pandemic and just how things are going for you guys right now.
Yeah, we are still working really hard. We are at our food bank. We are doing a weekly distribution every week, providing to thousands of families that come to us and need food, like you see here in front of you. And yeah, we pivoted pretty quickly, like lots of other nonprofits in the community when COVID hit. And we had to change the way that we operated, the way we distributed food. And that included moving into this drive-through model where we are able to keep people safe and healthy and still provide them with all the good, nutritious food that they need, but just doing it in a different way that still gets them what they need and make sure that no one is going hungry.
So we talked to a few organizations today, including Jenny with Family First Health, and obviously the COVID-19 pandemic and the government's response has created ample grants and federal assistance to organizations like Family First Health, to organizations like the York County Food Bank. But the private dollars raised during events like Give Local York and direct funding to organizations like yours are important because of the flexibility that they allow you. So with the Give Local York funds nearing $50,000, what's next for the food bank?
Yeah, absolutely. Support from the community, private donations are extremely important to the work that we do. We are grateful that we get a lot of our food comes donated from the USDA, the federal government, but there's still gaps, and sometimes we still need to go out and purchase additional food items. There's boxes that we need to be able to purchase, and there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes to make sure that we are getting the food in and getting the food out as quickly as possible and keeping it fresh. You can see we do provide lots of fresh food items, and so that's important. And so those dollars go a long way. Every dollar that is donated to us, we are able to turn into 6 meals, which is huge and really has a tremendous impact on the community.
And you're serving upwards of 800 families at the drive-through distribution every week?
We are, yes. And that doesn't include all of the partner agencies that we work with. We work with over 100 nonprofits. Those are soup kitchens, food pantries, backpack programs, school pantries. And so they also can come to us and they can shop at our location or they can shop online. And so they're also getting their food from us and then redistributing it at their location. So all in, we're serving the entire county with making sure that everybody gets the food that they need.
Well, and on the county-wide efforts, you also have the mobile pantry too.
We do, which we have an unveiling event that's going to be happening next Friday. But yeah, we are really, really excited about this program. It is basically a pantry on wheels. We purchased a bus and we converted it into a pantry. And the goal behind this program is to go out into the rural areas where people perhaps lack transportation to get to our location or to get to one of their local pantries, or perhaps there's not even a pantry that's within a short distance from them. So we bring the food to them and they're able to receive the good, healthy food that people are now receiving at our emergency food hub.
Well, you guys are an amazing community asset. We absolutely thank you. I'm curious, I think earlier when we were talking, you are very good at mentioning other partner nonprofits and organizations, and that is really the spirit of collaboration that we have heard all day. And I know that many of our organizations are supporting you. We talked with Lisa from Wagman, who is one of our event sponsors. And can you tell us a little bit about what Wagman and the food bank worked on today?
Yeah, so we were so grateful. Wagman did their own food drive and collected food items for us and dropped it off today at our emergency food hub. And we were grateful for the contribution that they provided to us today.
Awesome. Well, best of luck. As we were talking, it looked, because this is now the fun thing that I do. You had actually 2 new donors.
Woohoo!
So you are at $41,588 raised, still at 83% technically. So if you're watching, head on over to the York County Food Bank page. Really lots and lots of great work. If you have $5, $10, $20 to spare, the $20 level, is that a $20
Approximately,
box?
yeah. Basically.
So the emergency food, the distribution boxes that they're able to give, $20 will take care of one of those boxes, including fresh fruits and vegetables. So Jen, thank you so much for your time, and I know you're gonna crush your goal. So good luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So Chris, we will bring in Jess from Keystone Kidspace. And I'm going to give a quick update on our numbers. Heading back to the main page here. So we are at 7,716 donors with 13,175 gifts. Megan has a goal of 13,000 donors, I believe. Chris, is that what I heard earlier? 13,500 donors. We've got 7 hours, 41 minutes, and 49 seconds to make that happen. We are at $2.5 million, supporting 300 organizations in the county of York. One of those organizations happens to be one of my favorite buildings in York City. So wait, let's start. My favorite municipality in York County.
Right.
One of my favorite buildings in York City, and Jess, run by one of my favorite people in York City as well.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. Now, you and I think we did this last year.
Yes,
You were wearing a hard hat.
I sure was.
No hard hats required now.
There's no hard hat this year.
Yeah.
That's
I
what I was
know. Yeah.
So it looks amazing behind you. Give us an update first, even before we talk about Give Local. Give us an update on Keystone Kidspace, because Keystone Kidspace, we were talking to Gwen and Frank from the Rail Trail Authority earlier today. See you, Jen, from the Rail Trail Authority, and we were talking about COVID, post-COVID, and Keystone Kidspace almost right behind me in my field of view here. Yep, and the Rail Trail sort of act as physical beacons, right, in a post-COVID world. So tell us about Keystone Kidspace.
Well, first of all, just to piggyback on that, we love our neighbors here. So, the Revs across the creek and the rail trail obviously are a huge part of why we even chose to locate here in the old Armory building. We like to think that we've been like the sleeper hit of the pandemic. We've been really busy over the last year. As you mentioned, last time we spoke, I had a hard hat on. We were in the middle of demolition. It was a very different sort of view here of the building. We've been so busy over the last year transforming this space so that we can be ready to welcome kids and families as soon as it's safe to gather safely together indoors. We know that our kids have had such a difficult year. Families and kids, I don't think we talk about the toll that the pandemic has taken on them enough. And we are so excited that by the time we're able to gather, we will be ready to welcome all of them into the space. We think they're going to need community and connection more than ever.
So what does the timeline look like for Keystone Kidspace? And I purely am asking because I need the kids out of my house and into your space.
Oh yeah, me too. Every parent I talk to is like, how soon? Yeah, like the laugh track too. That's great. So we will open as soon as it's safe to do so. So as you can imagine, we're paying a lot of attention to the general climate and the rollout of the vaccine. It was really great news that kids 12 and up are soon going to be able to, be vaccinated themselves. So we're very optimistic that we're going to be able to fully open sometime after Labor Day, sometime in that fall sort of period. We're also very hopeful that we can start to do smaller things in the building prior to that. So you may, if anyone's following us on Facebook, and I hope many of your viewers are following us on Facebook, they may have noticed that we're going to start doing birthday parties and small workshops and classes and events in the building starting hopefully midsummer. We think we can do that safely in some of our larger spaces by spreading people out and giving them exclusive use of the facility during that time.
Well, we're really excited, and obviously, I am very appreciative that safety is at the forefront of everything that you guys are doing, and doing it responsibly, and making sure that the timelines work. So, shifting to Give Local York, so far you guys have over $18,000 raised, 80 donors, 82 gifts. What does Give Local York mean to Keystone Kid Space? And in some ways, you were born in the Give Local York world, and it, in many ways has kind of accelerated your growth.
Yeah, so we owe a lot to Give Local. So first of all, thank you to you and Megan and Mr. Pulo and everyone who's made this day possible over the years. It's really thanks to Give Local donors and all the donors who have supported us that the transformation of this building was even possible. So a big part of the gift we've been trying to give back to the community today is showing them how amazing this space is going to be once everyone's able to come in here and join us and play with us in the space. So first of all, thank you to all the past donors who have supported us. Moving forward, what we're asking the community to help us with is in purchasing all the really important tools and equipment and materials that it's going to take in order to bring the space to life. We have the platform, we have the infrastructure, now we need all the fun stuff. Just as importantly, we are really committed to ensuring that Keystone Kid Space is genuinely accessible to all kids and families across the York community. And so raising scholarship funds to enable all families to be full members and as a result, full, part of the Keystone Kid Space community is a really important part of our mission. So part of what we're raising funds for today is for that scholarship fund as well.
So your logo on the Give Local York page says 2021 is going to be big, and I think that really is true for Keystone Kid Space. It's going to be exciting in 10 years when we're doing this again, and Keystone Kid Space is up and running, and we saw it born, and hopefully it is an amazing success. I know it's going to be an amazing success. What is one thing you want our viewers to take away? Some hope that Keystone Kid Space is going to open soon so they can get their kids out of their house. But more importantly, I think that the impact is what, for many of us, we don't even know what the impact of Keystone Kid Space is going to be. But in your vision, that really is going to take hold in our community.
Yeah. So first of all, the message is this is really happening, right? So this is really going to open later this year. We've worked really hard and we cannot wait to open our doors and welcome families in. And we sincerely believe that this space is going to be transformational for a lot of kids and families, giving them access to opportunities that they wouldn't otherwise be able to access, to mentors, to peers who share their interests, the opportunity to tinker and explore new activities, new skills that they've never maybe had the opportunity to try before, and a really sort of dynamic, safe, neutral space for families from across the county to come together and explore together. I think what we've been through as a community over the last year and a half has only demonstrated how strong York-Countyans are, how amazing our nonprofit sector is, and our business sector and our public sector. But we've missed coming together and really, sharing in person. We cannot wait to be able to do that. And I just want all your viewers to know we will be here as soon as it's safe to open. We will be here. So all the destructive stuff your kids are doing at home, the messes that they're making, all of that, bring them here. This is the place where all of that is allowed. And we hope that the adults will enjoy being in the space as well.
Excellent. Well, Jess, thank you so much. While we were talking, you got one more donor, one more gift. So you're well on your way. Jess, I know, not to put you on the spot, I'm just guessing or giving generously to other organizations today for Give Local York. Any shout outs you want to give to our viewers?
Oh my God, my list is so long.
I know, it's hard.
It's really difficult. I mean, I think to me, that's the plug. We have so many incredible organizations in this community. And this day is just really about participation and showing your support for as many organizations as connect with you and the things that you care about. So I'll throw out a lot, but it's not exhaustive by any means, but Pals Park, I'm really excited about. One-to-One, which used to be the Human Library Project, I think is a really exciting, important initiative. Young Thinkers of York, they're doing really amazing work with robotics and young people. There are just so many who are doing really amazing work, many under the radar that we don't normally get to hear much about. And Give Local is such a great opportunity to really shine the light and elevate the work that they're doing.
All right, Jess. Well, I really appreciate it. Best of luck to you for the rest of the day. I'm going to do a quick recap. Jess, $2.5 million. Can you believe that?
Unbelievable.
Absolutely.
So amazing.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, Chris. I'm going to do a quick recap while we get while we get Traditions Bank. See, I said I wasn't going to mess it up, Chris, and I messed it up. I'm sorry. While we get them set up. So it is Give Local York 2021. If you're just joining us, you've missed some amazing action for the day. We are at $2.5 million from 7,806 donors, 13,356 gifts to 300 organizations with 7 hours, 32 minutes, and 35 seconds left. So, as I said earlier, obviously we want to thank all of our sponsors, but all day I've been thanking our sponsor, Traditions Bank, for being the live stream sponsor. And we are lucky right now to have Jean and Kristen from Traditions Bank in person with us. I'm exhausted. How are you guys doing?
Doing good, Philip.
Yeah, I'm feeling great.
Great.
I wasn't up since midnight last night.
Yeah, I got a little bit of sleep. So, I want to talk about Give Local York, but I do want to give you guys a chance to talk about what I'm going to say is second to Give Local York, the talk of the town, the Traditions Bank rebrand. It looks amazing down here, just a couple blocks away. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, thanks. We spent probably a year and a half, maybe more than a year and a half, considering interviewing people, meeting with focus groups, trying to determine really what we need to be inclusive, because we've expanded into other geographies. We're up in the Camp Hill region and also Lancaster, and we want to be inclusive. And so having York in front of our name could have been an impediment to that. And so we spent about a year and a half or more studying it. We hired a marketing company to help us out through that, a company that specializes in branding and bank branding specifically. And after a lot of thought, we decided to change our name to Traditions Bank. We changed our logo. The old logo, while people loved it, at the same time, it could also confuse people. And it maybe gave a sense that we were an agricultural bank, as an example, which we're not. So we made the decision to change the name, and we've been really excited about it. The logo, I don't know if you caught up with the logo at all. It's six-sided cube, but the 6 sides represent each one of our core values. And if you look really closely, there's a T on the one side of the logo for Traditions, a B on the other side for Bank, and right in the middle is a Y for York County, which is always going to be home. So,
well, geez, you pretty much said it all.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
That's great.
No, it's great.
Lines me up.
Kristen, I've been talking all day about the energy surrounding Give Local York. I think you have been watching the live stream for most of the day. Mm-hmm. So for Traditions Bank, why is it important for you, not for the event as a whole, but this dynamic live stream? Why is it important for you guys to support that and to really interface directly with our givers today and our nonprofits?
Well, community commitment is part of who we are. It's one of our core values. And, we love to give back to our nonprofits in York and throughout central Pennsylvania. But it's also important to increase the capacity that you guys have as an organization that's community building for these nonprofits. You really are the backbone and the glue that creates this event and gives these nonprofits the capacity to fundraise in this way. So it's important for us to help you guys promote and really make this event a community-wide excitement and So.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at something $2.5 million with 7 hours to go, there is not one piece of the puzzle that is not super important for that to happen. And we thank Traditions Bank for that support. Chris, we've got a video from Traditions Bank that I've already watched twice today because I love it so much. And we'll put it back up again, and then we'll come back here with Jean and Kristen.
We got a different video, actually.
Oh,
2 videos from now.
All right.
It's a little shorter.
Perfect. Even better.
Traditions. They're more than dates on a calendar. They're the moments that bring us together. It might be bedtime pillow fights, family movie nights, or hanging up the open sign. For all of us, Traditions are an opportunity to make our mark on the people and places we love the most. At Traditions Bank, our purpose is to help you succeed, because helping you make your mark in the world is how we make ours. Traditions Bank, make your mark.
Excellent. So, Gene, obviously, as a business, you have many options for advertising. You could go and get a billboard, I'm sure, but you have chosen to support Give Local York because Traditions Bank is rooted here in York. We've had Lancaster donors today, Maryland donors today, all because of the exposure that you allow us to bring. But as you grow, York is your home, right?
That's right, and it will always be our home. And one of the things with the rebranding, and you kind of mentioned it, for us, it's about making a difference, helping people make their mark, which is our tagline that we've adopted. But it's always been part of what we're about. We want to make a difference in the lives of our customers, our associates, and the communities we serve. And something like this today, what a better, I can't think of a better way to do it to help make a difference than to be part of this excitement.
Yeah, and we appreciate it. And it's the energy that I think Chris and I in the last hour were talking about, the challenges of 2020, and that we're all going to agree that May 7th, 2021 is our time to reset and move forward. So we thank Traditions Bank. Any parting words, Kristen? Tell people to give generously until midnight.
Yeah, ditto. What you just said. Absolutely. Yeah, keep giving, and let's meet that 13,500 individual donors goal. So.
Hey, PG, I wanted to sneak on to the nice guy.
Chris just wants to, I was going to say, over the plain white wall.
I'm going to live stream.
I'm going to pass it to you.
I gotta say hi and just again express my gratitude to you guys for sponsoring all the fun stuff that we get to do today. I'm gonna get emotional and cry again, but just the opportunity to meet all these people today, both virtually and in person, it's really, really special. And without you guys, I might not be here today. So I'm just very, very grateful to be able to be a part of this production. Obviously, Phil's been carrying the water for us today and doing a great job hosting. But thank you.
Thank you. It's easier to write a check than to take your time, and what you're doing is just phenomenal. So.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm open to more checks. So we got it. And I promise, I know it's Traditions Bank. I will never screw it up. So seriously,
it's like muscle memory for us, though. It's give me a second, all right?
Yeah. Thank you both so very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, guys. So to recap, we are at 7,897 donors, 13,489 gifts, and $2.5 million. Chris, as we head into, I'm not even going to call it the final stretch. We've got 7 hours left, man.
7 hours left. This is the fun part of the live stream stuff, right? It's easy to write a check. Press all the buttons this time. I'm just quoting the man himself. Thank you again so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Man, what a day this has been. And it's just such a joy. Thanks to our friends at Traditions Bank for the opportunity to be able to do all this today, be able to share these moments and these experiences all day long. It's very, very humbling to get to do what I do. And I know Philip is turning the mic off there. The fun of the behind the scenes when you're a two-man crew here as we look over to the next room. But I just want to touch on this real quick here before we sign off here, Philip. I mean, the magic of what we've been able to create here today, when we look over into the rest of the 1741 Club, and there's, how many staff members there?
Fox 43 is strong.
Almost just knocked their light off. And I know Megan was actually just on, I think, a few minutes ago. I saw her in there. So.
Because they're important. We don't rate her.
We can't get Megan. She won't take our calls.
She's above our pay grade.
But yeah, this is the power of live streaming video. And I just wanted to take this quick second to encourage all of the nonprofits that are watching. Take some time tonight and go do your own live stream. It doesn't have to look this fancy, I promise. Get out there. I always encourage organizations to use video to communicate with your supporters and also to reach new ones. I'll ask you right now as we're looking into the camera as well, hit that share button. Share this moment, this experience with someone that no matter where they may be. either in Pennsylvania or anywhere around the world. This is the power of what Traditions Bank has been able to afford us today, is this day-long magic carpet ride around this just wonderful community of York, both virtually and with some of our in-person guests like our friends from Traditions Bank. So
magic carpet ride.
That's pretty good for 5 p.m., right? I haven't been up this long.
Chris, I want to recap the last 40 minutes or so that we've had. Bobby Ann with the York County Literacy Council, absolutely excellent. Please check out their Give Local York profile. They built it out really nicely, and you can learn a lot about that organization, which you may not know anything about, which is the value of Give Local York. It gives nonprofit organizations the platform to be exposed to thousands and thousands, in this case, 7,922 donors so far. After Bobby Ann, we talked to Jen from the York County Food Bank for the second time today, and that is an interview that I will do 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, because the York County Food Bank has been absolutely critical in the COVID-19 response here in York County. Then, of course, we talked to our friend Jess with Keystone Kid Space. Literally, Chris, I don't know if you know this, if you went right through like Skybox 15 over there, across the creek, Keystone Kid Space is right there, right on the other side of the creek. Like that rail trail from the Rail Trail Authority folks leads right to the Keystone Kid Space. So very excited for that to open in 2021, as just said, when it is safe, when it is appropriate. And then we had a great conversation with Jean and Kristen from Traditions Bank, where Chris got emotional for the 3rd time today. So
I'm telling you, we need a scoreboard here in Switcher Studio.
It is what it is. But Chris, as we head into, we'll probably take a little break here before the 5 o'clock hour. There's a lot of good stuff that's going to happen tonight. And then Chris, you and I are going to come back around 11 o'clock and close the night out after our 5 o'clock show.
That sounds great to me.
I know there were a couple hours in the middle there that I left, but not to say we're going to do some more stuff, then we're going to go away. Maybe I'll take a nap, and we're going to come back at 11.
Nap would be good. Food will be good. Good thing I got this caffeine. Let's check out this drink that PG got me last night. This is, where's my camera?
Starbucks
Triple shot. I mean, how much? There's 225 megs of caffeine.
Yeah. You know, we have a Starbucks roasting plant in York, Chris.
225 sounds like a big number. I mean, not compared to the numbers that we see on the bottom of the screen here, but I don't know how
300 organizations, Chris.
Right. Well, I think I need a meg of caffeine for each one, maybe, as we head into the evening.
All right. So when we come back at the 5 o'clock hour, we're going to talk to JJ in about Cable House Presents.
Double JJ.
We are going to hear from Jenna and Tammy at Hill Senior Center. I remember them from last year. Had a great interview. And we're going to talk to Joyce from Affordable Housing Advocates. And then our buddy Kate is going to join us. Actually, Kate's going to talk about Dream Rights, Center for Community Arts, and then with the food trucks as well. So lots of good stuff to come in the 5 o'clock hour. We're going to sign off here, take a little break. Be back at 5 o'clock sharp. We'll finish this out. And then Chris and I are going to come back at 11 o'clock and close out the night.
That's right. You guys know the drill. Here comes the music and the blue screen, and we'll see you in about 20 minutes, okay?
No, she's been here a long time. That's what this isn't that long.
Good evening, everybody. I'm officially saying good evening. It is 5 o'clock. There's very loud music that started right on cue. Chris, give me, are they playing? What are they doing? That we couldn't have timed worse. I apologize for that.
That was karma for us having the fife and drum here before.
Good Lord. All right. It is 5 o'clock. We have 6 hours, 56 minutes, and 27 seconds left in Give Local York 2021. As you can hear, maybe there's a band warming up behind me because we've raised $2.6 million for York County nonprofits, 8,166 donors. We got a Bob Pulo whoop. We got some moody piano music, which sounds excellent behind us. $2.6 million, 14,000 gifts to 300 organizations. Chris, you and I have been doing this since 7 a.m. We have talked to a number of absolutely amazing organizations. 7 hours left, man.
What a fun day it's been. I think that piano music moment is going to live on the Give Local York blooper reel for the rest of our lives. That was the most perfect timing I've ever seen with the crowd watching and everything. What a great start to our 5 p.m. broadcast that is going to be action-packed. And I think, PG, we might have a little surprise here coming up in a few minutes.
Yeah.
In addition to this surprise.
It's surprise after surprise, which is great. So it's 5:04 here in a couple minutes. I'm going to be live on CBS 21 with my good friend, one of my favorite reporters, Mike Gorsinger from CBS 21. So if you
top five
York reporters. If you're watching at home and you have cable or you're on CBS, we'll be on there. Chris, we got an at 5 o'clock hour. I want to let people know what is coming up. We have our friend JJ Sheffer joining us once again to talk about Cable House Presents. We have Jenna to talk to us about Windy Hill Senior Center. We've got our friends at Affordable Housing Advocates, and then we've got rock star Kate Harmon, who's going to talk to us about Dream Right Center for Community Arts, and what the food trucks. Sorry, Chris, I can't hear myself think right now.
I'm guessing that's reverbing pretty good in your ears too with the headphones. So
yeah, can you take me off screen for a second? I'm going to try to.
I can take you off screen, and I'm going to go full screen to myself. I'm going to mute Philip here, and hopefully you guys can still hear me. I am going to let me bring myself back up here full. We're just figuring things out here as we prepare to bring JJ, Jenna, and Kimberly on here remotely. Let's take a quick look here. I'm going to play a quick video, and then I'll be right back here.
All right, I'm still here, Chris. 6 hours, 53 minutes left in Give Local York 2021. 2.6 million, almost 2.7 million. If you're watching at home, you have heard my voice since 7 a.m. What I want you to do is go to givelocalyork.org right now. I want you to make one more donation, $5, $10, $25, whatever you can afford. We've got a number of great organizations coming up in the 5 o'clock hour that I think you will be really excited about. I'm excited to learn more about, and we have talked to dozens of great nonprofits today, but that's just a small percentage of the 300 plus nonprofits that are live right now on givelocalyork.org. The other thing I want you to do when you go to givelocalyork.org is scroll down just a little tiny bit past the leaderboard, past the recent gifts, check out the prizes. So if you want to support your favorite organization, you can make your money go further by giving in a manner that will help them win a prize. So check out our prizes. You can also go to givelocalyork.org/prizes. Just beneath that, you'll find our sponsors, headlined by the White Rose Leadership Institute. Without them, this would not be possible. Our legacy partners, Fox 43, Pulo Family Fund, People's Bank. We're here at beautiful PeoplesBank Park. Arthur J. and Lee R. Gladfelder Foundation, Cultural Alliance, Hammer Creek, Powder Mill Foundation, York County Community Foundation. Thanks once again to our live stream sponsor, Traditions Bank. We were joined by them last hour and had a great conversation with Jean and Kristen with Traditions Bank. And thanks to Wellspan Health, who joined us in the 7 o'clock hour. They are our Healthy Step Ahead sponsor. Scroll down on that page, check out our event sponsors, Apple Outdoor, White Rose Restaurant Group, MPL, ONE Hospitality, 2 to the T Outfitters, and media partners, Fox 43, ABC 27, Warm 103.3, News Talk 93.9, York Daily Record, 96.1 SOX, I-105, Sports Radio, 1440 AM, and our matching sponsors, Memorial Health Fund, PNC, RHI Magnesita. Chris, we got a lot going on, man.
We do. We have so many guests in the room. It's overflowing with energy, and I can't wait to get everybody here in the room. So why don't we start? Who do you want to start with?
So I think we let's bring JJ Sheffer on, and then we can interrupt that so I can get this amazing interview with Mike Gorsinger, CBS 21, and then you and I can close out the 5 o'clock hour and head on into the evening.
Sounds good to me.
Hi, JJ.
Hey, good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
And I think it's perfect that you started to have a sound check right when we're going to talk about Cable House Presents, right?
It was awesome. There's no better time for live music to start than when JJ Sheffer is on the other end of this live stream. So, JJ, I assume at some point I'm going to get tapped on the shoulder by Mike Gorsinger. But until then, how is Give Local going for JJ Sheffer?
It's going great. We have met our goal. We've exceeded our goal for Cable House Presents.
You've exceeded your goal? I didn't even know that. Last time we talked about it was like 1 a.m. and you were nervous and you exceeded your goal.
Yeah, now you don't have to shave your beard off. Weren't you going to shave your beard? If we didn't...
I was going to shave my beard if you didn't meet your goal.
Well, I'm glad I don't have to have that on my conscience.
So, Chris, I think that JJ is going to talk to us about Cable House Presents. So, JJ, if somebody's sitting at home, they know nothing about Cable House Presents, they don't even understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, tell them about Cable House Presents.
Sure. I'm really excited that we get to talk about this, even though you're going to have to dash in the middle of it, because what many people may not know, even if they know you and I, even if they're familiar with Cable House, is that, Philip, you actually helped to start Cable House Presents back in 2014. It was an effort with us, with Karen Swartz, who's also on the Give Local York team. It was the idea actually came from Sean Kenny, who's running a campaign today. So we're all really inextricably linked and continue to be. But yeah, Cable House Presents is a pop-up concert series. We generally host our shows, or we always have host our shows in Central Market. We rent it out once a month and host about 10 shows a year. And it's national touring acts. We bring them into this listening room environment. So people buy a ticket. They're there because they want to listen to the artist. It's not like a bar where it's meant to be part of the sort of ambiance and people are there to talk to their friends and there happens to be music. You're there for the music. So it's this very reverent space. And
then JJ, artists from all over the United States.
Yeah, and all over the world. We've had a couple of Canadian artists. Maybe that's it, but definitely all over the United States. So yeah, it's been really wonderful. In the since 2014 when we started, we've hosted more than 60 shows. We've had almost 6,500 butts in seats, if you will, tickets sold, and the number I'm most proud of is that we've paid out more than $63,000 directly to artists who make their living touring and playing music.
So JJ, I'm about to get stolen away, I think. I just looked at the Cable House page on the desktop for the first time. I took that photo in the cover, which I love. But yeah, $6,100 raised, $1,000 over your goal. Why are you even here, JJ? You're done.
Well, listen, so ticket sales will never break us even. We lose an average of $1,000 per show, and that's okay. That's the way we're set up. We're not a brick and mortar with our own space, so we don't have a liquor license, anything like that a traditional venue might be able to use to have revenue coming in. So our best attended show ever, we had Cedric Burnside a year and a half ago now, the summer before the pandemic started, sold out, people packed in there. We only lost $700 on that show, so we rely really heavily on fundraising and the support of the community. It's really important to us. And, every dollar we raise from here on out beyond what we made it by hitting our goal takes the burden off the fundraising to be able to raise, have the money up front to cover our expenses for our next season when we start back up again, when it's safe to gather.
Well, and you were in the middle of the 6th season when COVID-19 struck us, and Cable House, obviously, that's not something that we can fully pivot to be virtual. So I imagine that you are very excited for 2021, 2022.
Man, I can't wait to get back into a room and get like drummer sweat on me and sing and breathe all over people. And yeah, it's something that you can't do safely when there's a viral pandemic, right? You're viral breeding ground. So I'm really excited to be able to start that back up when we're all vaccinated and can get together and can stand shoulder to shoulder and sing together. And before the pandemic happened, we were about to host our first show not at Central Market. We were going to host a show at Windridge Farm down in Dallastown, and that got derailed. So that's been rescheduled now to March 2022. So a full 2 years from when we originally booked it, which is crazy to me. So I'm really looking forward to being able to pick it back up.
Hey, so JJ, it's Chris here. I'm going to interrupt and let Philip take his headset off and get set. They're going to go have him live here momentarily. We're actually going to throw to a shot of Philip outside, but I'll keep chatting with you.
Great.
So we were talking a little bit before, you're the quintessential York representative here, JJ. Tell me something as someone who I've never even been to York before. Tell me something that we don't know about York as we let's see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's listen in the phone here.
Midnight. Whatever you want to call it. So we have 6 hours, 44 minutes. People go to givelocalyork.org. Find a nonprofit you know already, don't know already. Give often, give generously. 2.6, almost $2.7 million.
That's pretty incredible. There are so many great charities as you go through the list that are involved. Talk about the work that these charities do to make our community a whole lot better.
Yeah, so all day I've stood at this desk and I've heard story after story of nonprofits that pivoted from the COVID-19 pandemic are providing direct services to our residents in York County, and that's the beauty of Give Local York. All of the participating nonprofits have a footprint and a direct contribution to the quality of life of residents.
When you guys set this up, it takes a whole lot of work. I mean, look at this setup, right? There's a lot of people involved. Explain why this is so great for the community.
Yeah, so everybody on the Give Local York team, White Rose Leadership Institute, Megan, Bob Pulo, all of the sponsors, we do this just to create a platform to raise the awareness for these nonprofits. We want to build Give Local York as the ship for people to throw their money at so that it is distributed to those nonprofits. Give Local York is just the vehicle for that to happen.
I have a bad feeling I'm not one of those people that they can throw the money at. But thanks, Phil. We appreciate it. So many cool events going on here. In fact, getting ready for a concert out here. Community Progress Council putting that on. We'll bring you out there next half hour. So the very ladies from here live. Back to you.
All right, and he's done. So we're back here, Chris.
Look at you there, TV star. That was fantastic.
So good.
Look
you have
at that.
another career. A very low-paying career.
No, thank you. Keep it to yourself. All right, JJ, so you heard Mike Gorsinger really asking the question of the hour. Give Local York is that platform. Cable House obviously has benefited from that. If somebody is sitting at home, 6 hours, 42 minutes left in the day, they have not made a donation yet. What can we do? What can we say to them? Why should they support a York area nonprofit?
it's your responsibility to be a part of your community. And this is a very easy, passive way to do it and a nice entree to get to know some of the nonprofits. So if there is something a cause that you care about, for instance, for me, it's live music, you can search this website and find the organizations that do those things that you care about, that are doing that work in the community, whatever that cause may be that you're interested in. And that's a great way to meet them. Start by sending them a few of your hard-earned dollars, and then maybe that leads you to follow what they're doing. Maybe you volunteer. It's a nice way to just get your foot in the door. Or if you don't ever want to be more involved than just sending them a check, a donation today, that's okay too. We're very happy to have your dollars and be stewards of that investment.
Well, JJ, thank you so much. I know that you've got emails to send and people to harass to continue to give to Cable House Presents, to York Story Slam. Thank you so much. Love you dearly. See you soon. I got live music behind me right now, I think. I don't know.
Can you guys hear the music if you're watching at home? I mean, there might be a little bit of background noise here, I think.
All right, so Chris, we're gonna bring in Jenna from Windy Hill Senior Center.
Let's bring in Jenna.
Jenna, how are you? Can you hear me? I have incredibly loud live music behind me, but as long as you can hear me, that's all that matters.
I can hear you. You're good.
All right, perfect. So Windy Hill Senior Center, I very distinctly remember the video that I did last year, learned a little bit about Windy Hill, but please, for the viewers at home that may not be familiar, give them the bullet points on Windy Hill.
Okay. We are a drop-in community center for older, active, independent adults, age 60 and older. We are located in Spring Grove, Pennsylvania, and we have like 5 core areas that we focus on. Lifelong learning is one of them, socialization, fitness and health, nutrition, and intergenerational opportunities. So we offer meals, hot meals, Monday through Wednesday. Right now with COVID, it used to be every Monday through Friday, but that changed a little bit. And we also have a home delivered meals program where we send volunteers out to deliver meals to homebound seniors.
So you guys are another organization that has absolutely smashed your goal so far with 6 hours, 39 minutes. You have $39,157 raised, a $30,000 goal. What, congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
What do those funds mean for Windy Hill? 2020, obviously, as you said, was a year like no other. It required modifications to your operations. So when you look to 2021, 2022, how do these funds help Windy Hill?
Well, we're getting ready to start up a capital campaign for building. So that will help us with allowing us to stay in our building and continue our operations. And it will allow us to continue to offer our low cost and free programs to our members. Our membership is free, so it's really important to us to get those donations from the community and that support from the community so that we can continue to offer as many programs as we do and the variety of programs that we offer.
Well, I'm looking at your page right now. You also, I want to say you have an amazing team of individual fundraising campaigns. David Brown, Terry Lair, Patricia, Jenna, you're on there. You had your fundraising page. So that's excellent. I see that we have on your giving levels, $20 provides a gas card for home delivered meals. $50 provides brain stimulating activities for our members via printouts. $75 allows seniors to learn technology to keep them connected. We've heard a few times today, technology during COVID-19. What has that been for Windy Hill? I assume technology plays a huge role moving forward for you.
Yeah, it's really played a huge role for us. A lot of our members are just learning how to use technology. So we've had a lot of barriers that we've had to overcome. I've done a lot of tutorials and helped individuals. I've even gone to a member's house before and helped them to get set up on Wi-Fi and figure out how to work their technology that they have. It meant that we were doing virtual programs through Zoom and Facebook Live for a majority of the year. We are starting to do some in person again, but it's still that hybrid model of having some in person and some online still. And actually, some of our members are getting pretty good at doing the online thing. So
That's awesome.
we're really proud of them, and it has really changed the way that we operate.
I also see, and Chris, I don't know if this will convince you to move to York or not, but Windy Hill is looking for a Friday morning bingo caller. Friday morning. So
that sounds great to me.
Opportunity. Hey, Jenna, I know you're on the road. I know you got a really busy day. We have a video that we're going to play here in a second, but you can go ahead and sign off. If people want to learn more about Windy Hill, where can they go to learn more?
They can either go to our webpage, windyhillonthecampus.org, or they can follow us and find us on Facebook, facebook.com/WindyHillOTC.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We're going to play this video. Enjoy the rest of your day, and congratulations.
Thank you.
And good luck for the rest of the night.
Thank you so much.
Windy Hill on the Campus is a drop-in community center for active older adults. We offer health and fitness classes, socialization opportunities, nutritious meals, various lifelong learning opportunities, intergenerational programs. Windy Hill Senior Center, a place of hope, belonging, and connection. Support Windy Hill on May 7th during Give Local York. For more information, visit windyhillonthecampus.org.
So, Chris, we just heard from Jenna with Windy Hill. She, as I said, has smashed their record today, $39,000. In just a second, we're going to hear from Affordable Housing Advocates. Before we hear from our friends at Affordable Housing Advocates, let's look at the numbers real quick. $2.68 million, 14,408 gifts from 8,342 donors supporting our 300 organizations in York County. One of those organizations, of course, is Affordable Housing Advocates. How are you?
We are well, thanks. Hi, guys.
So we are super stoked to have you. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. $18,950 raised so far from 63 donors. So before we dive too far, Affordable Housing Advocates, is that a new name for the organization?
That is a new name for the organization. Up on February of 2021, we were known as the York Area Housing Group. But in an effort to better describe what we do and what our mission is, we decided it was the right time to rebrand and come up with a name and a mission, which I'll tell you our mission now is to enhance the quality of lives and communities by advocating for creating and sustaining affordable housing options. And we felt that with this refreshed look at our mission and what we want to do here in York, now was the time to do it. So you can see our super cool new logo.
Yep.
Just revealed. One thing I really want to point out this year is that we started in 1971, just to give you a tidbit of history. We started in 1971 as a response to a community event that happened after the race riots here in York.
Yep.
It's called the York Charrette. And that coming together of York's community leaders really helped an analysis and an assessment of the city's problems, and which were determined to be inequality in education, health, and substandard housing. And the substandard housing piece is where we come in. And the first project we did in 1971 was a 32 home rehab renovation build to sell to new home buyers. And after that, we sort of segued into the rental and building of apartment buildings because there was tremendous need, and we felt that we could just get a bigger bang for our buck if we built more units and could help more people. And as this is our 50th anniversary, we are coming full circle, and we're going back with our goal this year to build 50 homes in an effort to celebrate our 50th anniversary for service to York and York City and York County as a whole. So that's what we're raising funds for this year.
So I think obviously the work that your organization does is amazing. One of my favorite parts of Give Local York is getting to know organizations like yours, like Family First Health, also born out of the same generation. And then my next call will be with an organization that may be less than 1 year old. So Give Local York gives that platform. But for an institution such as yourself, it also exposes you to donors that you may have never had access before. So talk about that. I mean, we've got people doing $5, $10, $25 donations, but we want their relationship with affordable housing advocates to go far beyond Give Local York. So how can they support you moving forward?
Every single dollar that comes our way can be used to further our organization, to further creating livable, sustainable, stabilized environments for families, everywhere from families to seniors. No one goes untouched. No category goes untouched. We're looking on a countywide basis to renovate, infill, new construction, whatever type project is feasible. And every single dollar that we get is very helpful.
Awesome.
People on waiting lists waiting for housing. So every dollar is going to help someone that's waiting and ready to go. We've already helped 530 people find a place to call home this year alone. So we're excited to be able to open up more opportunities for others.
Well, that's amazing. And we're nearing $2.7 million for Give Local York 2021. We do have a video of affordable housing advocates. We're going to watch that, and then we'll come back. And I'm hoping, I don't know how long this video is, but when we get back, it might be 2.7 on the dot. So, Chris, let's see that video.
Cool.
Yeah, we did good. Let's see. Hurry up. Wait.
I love that video. I love the photos of all of the masks. Appreciate all the precautions that your organization took to keep our neighbors safe. I think that for an organization like yours that is 50 years old, when we look 50 years from now at 2020 and see those photos of masks and social distancing, and Chris, we just hit 2.7, so we need a whooping here.
Can I get a bonus woo from you?
Oh, man.
Woo!
This is not awkward.
Can I get a bonus woo from you?
Yeah.
Woo! All right, guys. Well, I won't take any more of your time. Thank you so much. Any parting words for folks watching at home?
Just want to say thank you to everyone that went out of their way today and helped us make our goal, help us working toward our goal. Thanks to the board. They really stepped up to the plate. Thanks to everyone that is working really hard today to help make that happen. So I just want to say that to everybody.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys for the work that you do every day, and stay safe out there.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right, Chris, it is 5:32 on Give Local York, and I think we're done for the day, right? I'm just kidding. So we have a very important, very special guest I'm going to take my headphones off because she is in person. So as we are nearing, well, we smashed $2.7 million heading into the evening. Kate Harmon is here to talk about Dream Rights Center for Community Arts, and we're going to talk about some other stuff. But first, Kate, have you slept at all?
I actually slept for about 4 hours, and that's better than any previous year. So we're doing great.
No, I am planning on just going to bed here in a half hour, and maybe I'll wake up at 11:30. Maybe I won't.
We'll wake you up. It's fine.
It's fine. So, Kate, all day when on these calls we've been talking about the energy. You have felt the energy in this room. I know you escaped this building for a little bit. What's happening out on the streets other than maybe some rain?
Some rain. Well, my escaping on the streets was running to 2 of the 3 places that I'm raising money for today, and then trying to make it back here before 5 for you. So I didn't have that much fun out in the world, but there are Give Local York signs all over downtown York, and that was such a lovely sight to see.
Excellent. Well, Kate, as you know, one of my first donations for Give Local York 2021 was Dream Rights Center for Community Arts. Chris, we do have a video. We will watch that in a second. But Kate, for those watching that somehow are unfamiliar with an organization as amazing as Dream Rights, can you fill them in on Dream Rights and their mission?
Yeah, absolutely. So our goal is to provide inclusive and educational programming when it comes to theater for people in the York community. You've probably seen us. You might not have noticed it, but if you're driving down Philly and it dead ends right into Carlisle, we're that giant building right there. And that building is full of over 20 years worth of props, costumes, set pieces. We've been doing this for a long time. We like to believe that we do it pretty well. And we're really excited for what this year is going to bring.
So talk to me about, all day, obviously, we're talking about organizations that have shifted during the COVID-19 pandemic, and Dream Rights for maybe the first time in recent history, outdoor performances, which is something that you guys are going to continue here for 2021.
Absolutely. So last year when everything happened and the world changed, we realized we could not bring people into our theater, not only to sit and watch, but to rehearse for about 2 months before each show. So we built an outdoor stage, thanks to our technical director, Jay Schmuck, who has really led the charge for us this past year. We hosted open mic nights. It was BYO mic so that we didn't have to cross-contaminate mics between people. And it was so successful for us that we're going to continue doing it. The stage is actually back up. And tonight, we were going to have an outdoor drive-in cabaret tonight as a Give Local fundraiser, but we all know it's raining, so that had to move indoors. But we're going to continue, even though we are moving forward with our indoor spaces at this time, we're going to continue using the outdoor space because it's something that we're missing that here in New York, and I think people really enjoyed it.
So you are, with 6 hours left to go in Give Local York, you're about $1,000 short of your $21,000 goal, $20,000 raised. So if you're sitting at home, if you're familiar with Dream Rights, if you're not familiar with Dream Rights, $5, $10, let's get them to their goal. Kate, what does reaching that $21,000 goal mean for Dream Rights for 2021?
It means we get to continue doing the stuff that we loved to do before this happened. We're really excited to be moving ahead with our first show of the year, West Side Story School Edition. We're working with our friends at Weary Arts Group, and we are very excited to bring this teen show back to the stage. So your support means we can continue to leave the lights on and keep bringing awesome programming and educational value to people in the New York community.
So we've got a Dream Rights video that will get queued up here. I do want to shout out to Dream Rights because for the other nonprofits that are watching, check out Dream Rights page and check out some of the other ones that have really utilized the fundraising feature for the Give Local York platform. If you look at Dream Rights page, you'll see that the individual fundraisers are really doing some significant work in raising money. We have an individual fundraiser from Trisha that's raised $915. George has raised $800. Amy Young has raised $670. Jim Tyson, $525. Christopher Harris, $515. And that's before I click see more fundraisers. So if you are a nonprofit organization, please use that as a best practice moving forward because it really does help on the day. Chris, we got that video? All right.
We right away got a subscription to Zoom right as soon as things went down, actually for a board meeting. I said, we can't come together. What are we going to do? Quickly, it became, okay, how can we do things online? So we created some online programming called Open for Creativity. We were looking at what kind of scripts do we want to do in the future, so we did that via Zoom as well. People really just enjoyed not only hearing new work that they hadn't heard, but also reading together with other people. Something else that came out of this is that we now have our own Muppet, Dougie Webster. Dougie Webster, Jay created, and he's been in a lot of our videos. He actually does tutorial videos on tech-related items. So that kind of came hand in hand with the fairy tales, so he did one on how to shoot your fairy tale. Rebecca, our costumer, she immediately shifted to making masks. And so why don't we just put a stage outside and just do open mic nights or something, just so that we can get together safely. We've come to rely on each other. We've gotten much more creative, much more resilient, much more, it is possible. Our community does believe in the arts and that they are essential and that we're needed. Even if it is these small scale little pieces that we're doing, that those little pieces mean an awful lot. It has its ripple effects.
All right, Kate, so thank you for talking about Dream Rights. Where can folks get more information about Dream Rights?
Dreamrights.org, or we're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, so check us out.
Excellent. So earlier in the day, Kate was going to join us to talk about another organization, and then she was called away to work on some logistics. So Kate, tell us now, switch your hat. You don't actually have a hat. I got a bunch of hats.
Yeah, can I borrow one of your hats?
Tell us about What the Food Trucks.
What the Food Trucks? Do you mean York's favorite and best Labor Day Sunday food truck festival?
I do.
We are really gearing up to kick back off with our food truck festival on Labor Day Sunday, September 5th. We clearly had to close it down in 2020 due to COVID and the fact that we would bring over 20,000 people into Penn Park. But we are looking forward to bringing events life back to York because we think it is a sorely missed thing, and we believe that we can do so in a safe way.
Yeah, so talk to me a little bit about how important you think it is for our community to dip their toe and then go full into event season when it is safe and appropriate to do so. We spent over a year apart. I think it is time to get back to special events here towards the end of 2021. What does that look like for you guys?
Well, for us, the good thing about What the Food Trucks is that it's already outdoors and it's in a very large park deep in the heart of York City. And we've had the ability for all those people to space out. In our past years, you would come in the afternoon and you would see people who put up their own tents and they sat with their own friends. And they spent the whole day there getting food from different trucks, getting drinks from our beer garden, and just spending time in their community. And I think that because it is outdoors and it was already built that way, it's a great way for us to restart event life in York because it is a huge park. You don't have to be around people you don't want to be around. And you can still wear your mask when you're in line, which is really the only problem you're going to have to be around other people if you want to stay away from them.
So, Kate, I couldn't help but notice you have a very good-looking ginger beside you. Oh, the other way. Matthew, if you can talk a little bit, you are an independent event organizer, obviously, which meant that 2020 you were not an independent event organizer. So what does that mean to you to get back to work and to get people out into special events and bring them together over food, over drink, especially in a post-coronavirus world?
To us, it means everything, obviously. We ran one event last year, and that was right before all of this happened. It was a money loser, and that's fine. We were gearing up to do our May events, and then we were going to launch 2 new ones at our new location down in Glenrock. And then even halfway through the year, when it looked like we may have been able to get back to doing something, we were completely planning our events from the ground up, changing it to wave-based ideas where we're only letting 250 people in, sanitizing in between for 15-minute waves to give everyone a chance to reset and move forward through the lines. And then every time we would do that, there would be some new development in the problem. And so we would shut it down because we didn't want to be the people that were putting everyone else at risk and setting the bad example. So it feels good to start planning, but it's also very difficult because a lot of the people who make events happen, all of the sub vendors, all of the people that are going to come out, the artists, everyone else are struggling too, and we're not all at the same point of getting ready to come back. So it really is showing everybody that there is a path forward, that we can do it safely, that we can do it responsibly, and convincing everyone on all sides of that to come out and join us.
Yeah, and I think that you hit the nail on the head that the special event industry is an entire industry that the infrastructure essentially completely collapsed. And even here today at the stadium, you have the Revs staff getting back into the swing of things. You have stages being unloaded in a way that they probably haven't in a year. We are physically together when last year we were completely virtual. So if you were sitting at home, if you remember the days, it's really hard, but remember the days of 2018 and 2019 when we gathered together in Penn Park for What the Food Trucks. If that is important to you, which it should be because it's an awesome event, go to givelocalyork.org, search for What, W-H-A-T, it will show up, What the Food Trucks, and support our friends Kate and Matthew, who also are amazing Give Local York supporters, volunteers, and really help us get everything done here. So on that note, guys, $2.7 million, 8,509 donors, 14,800 gifts, 301 organizations. So Kate, before I turn it over to you for you to talk about how exciting the next several hours are going to be, I am going to look and see, Chris, how many organizations we have that have yet to receive a donation, and I want to put a call to action out about that. But Kate, what's the next couple hours look like for us here?
Well, I don't mean to be superstitious at all, but I was asked to pick up extra bottles of champagne so we can crush some more goals this year.
Woo!
So we're at least planning on crushing last year's goal, which was already amazing. And there are rumors that maybe some people think we can hit 4 million. So don't make me carry champagne bottles in vain. Keep us awake and keep us bringing in the money.
Yeah, so Kate and Matthew are part of the behind-the-scenes team. Chris and I have been staring and yelling at the cameras since 7 a.m. I think we're doing a good job at some things. There are some things we're not doing a good job at. And for supplemental information, check out the Facebook page where posts are being made almost every minute. Check out the Instagram account where there is some unique content being put out by the team. There are no shortage of organizations. There is no excuse for anyone in York County to not find an organization to support.
I agree. And I think the really cool thing about Give Local York, which I think we probably touched on a lot today, I have to admit I have not listened to your voice since 7 a.m. I've muted you at times, is that it's accessible. You could do a minimum of $5 donation. As someone who runs events and raises money for a lot of organizations in this town, even just knowing that somebody cares enough to be able to give $5, they're behind us just a little bit. It gives you a little bit of extra, like, oh, okay, event life can come back to York. People do want to be in Penn Park for What the Food Trucks. So whatever you can give, and if you can't give money, that's fine. I know especially for events, we're going to need volunteers more than ever. So if you like an organization and you can't give financially, reach out to them anyway. I'm sure there's a way for you to be involved.
So I just pulled it up. We've got only 3 organizations currently that still need some love in the form of donors. We have an organization called Love Gives. We have an organization called York White Rose, CLUW, and then Youth Program Inc. So if you go to givelocalyork.org, you can certainly look at the leaderboard. You can browse by topic. You can check out all of the awesome prizes, all of the awesome sponsors. Hey, Matthew, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nervous.
So we have, how many hours do we have left here? We have 6 hours, 12 minutes, and 55 seconds. Is it going to start pouring down rain like everyone has told me it's going to do? Or is it just going to be...
He's not a weatherman.
Man,
he knows.
Ever since Apple bought Dark Sky, I don't know what's happening in the world anymore. It's going to rain.
It is going to rain.
We're prepared. We're still going to raise the money.
Matthew and Kate also have the privilege of hanging out with Mr. Pulo for pretty much a full 24 hours, right? He's going strong. He got here.
He didn't even nap.
He got here at 11:58, right before we started the live stream last night. Chris, what's up, man? You coming back into this? Chat with Kate and Matthew. I need a voice break.
Sure. Yeah, let's bring me back on here.
And he talks to us a lot.
They need a break from seeing my face on the screen.
Well, your face is still in here. Oh, the people.
Yeah, the people.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine. There you go. I was going away. I'm going away completely. I got to get some water.
Yeah, hey, I just want to... oh, you wanted to disappear.
He's actually disappearing. Yeah, no, it's cool.
I got you.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, quick moment of actual sincerity. Thank you so much for coming to get me at Harrisburg the other night and for being such a hospitable host these last couple of days. You guys are just wonderful human beings. I really, really enjoyed spending that time with you guys. I think Philip is...
He's actually leaving. He doesn't like it when people say nice things about us, so he has to
I don't know why we closed the door. It is now 100 degrees in here.
It is getting more.
It's rough.
But yeah, so thank you for showing me around New York. This is a wonderful city. I've heard so many great things, and just really appreciate you sharing your York knowledge with me over the last few days. I'm telling you, as someone who's never been to York before, if you want a great experience first time, just come meet this crew. Make friends with these guys, and you're going to be in really great shape.
So on that note, Chris, it's 5:49. These two have work to do to bring Give Local York to the home stretch. You and I are going to take a little break and then come back a little bit later for the big final reveal as we get towards midnight. 14,896 gifts, $2.7 million, 8,553 donors. Go to givelocalyork.org. Please donate before midnight, and please don't message us after midnight and ask if you can still donate. Those of you in Facebook land, shoot us a message at the Give Local York page if there's anything else you want to see from us when we come back. If you want a special shout out for nonprofit, maybe I'll do that. I did one for Mentor State Park earlier. Awesome. Still check that out.
If you donate while asking for favors.
That's true. Yeah. Donate, show me you donated, and then I'll give that nonprofit shout out.
Accepted here in the studio. Sure.
I like it. Chris, anything else before we sign off here?
Boy, what a day. Philip, I can't believe we completed all these streams without anything catastrophic happening.
It's been yelling all day for throwing my papers, but when I'm done with them,
I promise for all of you environmentalists out here, those papers have all been picked up and properly recycled.
At least he remembered he had a script.
Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been awesome. I think Philip probably would love if I echo all of the support of the sponsors that have made all of this possible today. Giant, Traditions Bank, obviously we're here at PeoplesBank Park, and on and on and on and on. Philip has the list memorized.
Well, and actually, Chris, that's a good point. So earlier this afternoon, we had a pretty big jump from 2 million to 2.4 million, and that's really thanks to our media sponsors, Fox 43, ABC 27, Warm 103, News Talk 93.9, York Daily Record 96.1, SOX, I-105, Sports Radio 1440.
You know what that means, Phil?
I don't know what that means.
We missed a couple woos, didn't we?
Woos. That's a lot.
Every time it's a
lot of woos. All right, guys. One more shout out. I do want to thank our matching sponsors. Go to givelocalyork.org/prizes as well to look at the prize sponsors. But thanks to the matching sponsors, Memorial Health Fund, PNC Bank, and RHI Magnesita. A special quick shout out to Magnesita, who came in with a very generous series of donations for some excellent nonprofits just here in the last week. So if you are out there, if you run a business, if you are looking for a way to give back to the community, please reach out to us, givelocalyork.org. Contact us, and we would love to have you a part of Give Local York 2022. So that when I am up here for another 12 hours, you can be a part of the wonderful organizations that we continue to shout out throughout the day.
DG, I'm going to play us out on one last video from our roving reporter out there at PeoplesBank Park.
Beautiful.
All right, Philip Given, it's Chris Strubb, your roving Giving Day guy reporter out here in right center field. Check this out. In case you guys haven't seen this, we didn't really get a great shot of it inside. I'm just really seeing it for the first time now because we've been over in the 1741 Club. But of course, we're here at PeoplesBank Park, and they've got the ticker here up on the big screen. It's about 1:20 right now, so by the time you see this video on the live stream later, I'm sure it's going to be raining. But man, what a beautiful space. And shout out to everyone here at PeoplesBank Park for letting us use the space here today for Give Local York 2021. So thank you to everyone here with the Revs for all of your help and support. And let's send it back to you, buddy.